Okay, so it's time to actually deploy your Fxrp into the liquidity pools. Okay, so you should understand the core idea behind the liquidity pools, but the best learning path is to actually go and deploy and see how it looks, how it works. Okay, so for this example, I will be using Enosys Dex, but there are two options available at the moment: Sparkdex and Enosys. I prefer myself Enosys for higher capital deployment, etc. It's just, for me, it works a bit smoother, but I will show you both, but it's up to you to decide which one you want to choose. Of course, you want to choose with the highest volume because more volume equals more yield. So in this case, let's go to Enosys. As you can see, we are already here. I will leave the official link down below. So as always, step number one is to connect the wallet. I will use Wallet Connect. Let me open up my wallet on the phone. Wallet Connect. I will scan the QR code quickly. It will ask me to connect. I click on connect and I am in. Now you must change from Songbird to Flare. Okay, just like that. And now you want to click on liquidity. The swap, by the way, is just to swap between two assets. You can swap from one asset to another, like a decentralized exchange thing. Okay, but you can do that on your Bifrost wallet anyway, behind the scenes. So I'm not using it. Now you go to liquidity, and you will see the liquidity pools. And as you can see, there are multiple ones available, but our main focus is, of course, Fxrp USDT 0. As you can see, it has 700k worth of TVL. It's not much by DeFi standards, but this whole XRP DeFi thing is also fairly new. So it does make sense that it's only gonna grow, hopefully, and all of the TVLs, everything's gonna expand as time goes by. But now, you understanding this so early in the game, it means that you have a very unfair advantage, to be honest, and you should be really proud of yourself if you are deploying capital into Fxrp pools, CBXRP pools, etc., because this knowledge is not something that is laying around everywhere, right? While ETH or Solana pools are a bit more common, but not as common, but you cannot, I mean, you have no idea how many people are holding XRP or crypto, have no idea that you are able to actually build cash flow income by using DeFi pools. Anyway, Fxrp USDT 0, you also have Flare versus Fxrp. This one generates a bit more TVL, a bit more fees as well, but these two assets are volatile, and I am not the biggest fan of just Flare as a coin. Okay, so I want to stick to Fxrp USDT 0, two that I know and I can basically manage it well. So you want to click on it, and basically you will see all of the data, the volumes. As you can see, 24-hour volume is 160k, not much in comparison to Solana. For example, one of the Solana pools versus USDC is generating about 40 million TV volume, hundreds of millions of volume per day. So 160k is not much, but it's just the beginning. So it does make sense that you see a bit of a less returns, but still it's much better because it's still coming into your wallet, not out of the wallet, right? So volume, fees, contracts, everything. And now you have the position strategy. As you can see right here, you have the aggressive, conservative, full, or custom. You always want to choose custom. Okay, you want to choose custom, and then you have to choose the price range. As you can see, lower price and upper price. Okay, you want to do that. So you see the current price, and you have to choose the lower price range and upper price range yourself. Now, if you choose 50-50, meaning that, for example, you decide to make 5% down, 5% up. In this case, you will be deploying in 50-50 proportion. So you need to have both assets, Fxrp and USDT 0. Okay? And then you deploy into the pool. If you deploy with 10% up and only 1% down range, meaning that you don't give much range to the downside, you only give range to the upside, in this case, you will be deploying mostly in Fxrp, like 90-something%, right? Because you don't give the range downside. If you do range downside only, so let's say up 1% and down 10%, in that case, you will be deploying mostly in USDT and not in Fxrp. And this can come to your advantage because maybe you're holding XRP for a while and maybe you would like to, let's say, exit your position, or you would have some needs or whatever else it may be to close the position at $2.70 for any reason. I don't know why, because you can of course borrow against it, but maybe for the liquidity pool, let's assume that. So you can set the range. Don't give any range downside, give range to the upside only. And what's going to happen? While you are in range, you will be earning the fees, plus your Fxrp will be slowly converted towards USDC as the price goes up, right? So this can work as an automated exit strategy, right? If you set the range upper price limit to the same price where you would like to exit your position anyways, you can do that, and you can skip giving range to the downside, only give range to the upside, right? So in this case, you will deploy 99% or so in Fxrp, and as it goes up, you get converted towards USDC, so you are slowly exiting your Fxrp position, and you get the fees. It's a win-win scenario if you wish to do so. Maybe the opposite is, maybe you would like to buy some XRP if the price goes down. You can do the same thing, which would act as a DCA, dollar cost averaging entry, if you give no range to the upside, only range downside, so let's say 0.5% up and 15% down. In this case, if you deposit like that, you will deploy mostly like 99.9% in USDT, and as the price goes down in XRP, you get converted towards XRP. So you are buying XRP essentially at a better and better price, right? Plus, next to all of that, you are getting the yield. You are making additional income, right? And if the price goes up, well, you stay in stablecoin. Or vice versa, if you deploy with XRP only and give the range up only, so we don't give any range down, so you deploy mostly in Fxrp, and XRP is not going up, well, you stay in XRP, so you can change the range again and again until you eventually catch the bottom, so to speak, and redeploy into the upside momentum. Or if your goal is, if you don't care whether you have XRP or USDT 0, let's say you have 5K that you want to deploy into the pools, you don't care if it's in Fxrp or USDT, you just want to make more money, make yield, generate yield, so to speak, and that's it, then you can deploy in mostly 50-50, 60-40 deposit ratio, depending where the current price is. Because currently the XRP is a bit down. If we look at the chart, let me show you. Yeah, you see XRP sitting at 203. If we look from the weekly perspective, as you can see, we've been way higher before, and now we are sitting after this pullback. So for me, it would make sense to give range up, right? Because I assume, based on the current conditions, that the market should start recovering, right? Or if you think the market will continuously go down, then of course there is no point for you to deploy into XRP only, because you can get entry at a better price, meaning that you can deploy the range just a bit up and mostly down. So you deploy in stables and you get converted towards XRP if it's continuously gonna go down. If you have no idea what XRP is gonna be doing and you don't have any opinion and bias of it, well, just deploy 50-50. But it's not always the best idea. So the best case scenario for you is to just open up the chart, see where XRP sits and what's your opinion about the next move. And if it's leaning towards bullishness, the price to go up, right? You don't have to be right. It's not magic, but it's just your personal opinion. If you are leaning towards that XRP should start going up, then you can set the range like 30%. I mean, the deposit ratio 30% down, 70 up, so you get more upside potential, right? Or if you think XRP can go down in the nearest future, then set 70-30, but 70% down and 30% up, for example, in such deposit ratios, okay? So let's go back to the pool, and now because I have 379 XRPs, as you can see on here, and I have only $2, well, I have to make the range with no downside and only upside because I don't have any USDT zero. Some dexes, not on XRP unfortunately yet, allow you to deploy only one asset and it will do the rest behind the scenes for you. In this case, if you want to deploy in 50-50 ratio, for example, you must have both assets in your wallet at the time of deposit. So you would have to check, okay, you would have to check how much USDT and XRP you need to have when you set the range, and then you would have to go to the swap, go from, let's say, go from Fxrp, where is that? From XRP to USDT, swap a bit of XRP to USDT zero, and then redeploy into the pool. Let me actually do that. Let me swap 5 XRPs into USDT so I have a little bit more breathing room. Let me first of all approve it. Okay, on my wallet I'm waiting for the confirmation screen for the approval. Still loading. Sometimes it happens, it's not super fast, I would say. So let's see. Come on. Still nothing. Maybe I can refresh the page. Maybe it will be a bit quicker. 5 Fxrps. Approve. Yeah, now it's here. So let me approve it first of all and then confirm the second transaction, which is the actual swap. So we are swapping 5 XRPs to USDT. That is now done, as you can see. Not done, but approved. Now I have to swap. One more transaction, sorry. It's here, as you can see. Click on confirm, swap it. Swap successful. So now I can go back to liquidity, go back to Fxrp USDT 0, custom, and now I have a bit more breathing room. So let me set the range. So the current price is 207. So I want to make the range. I would say 207 is current. So let's say 204 and 260, or let's say 270 to the upside. Okay, so the total range is 33%, which is not too bad on XRP. So 204 and 270. So 204 is just at the level and 270 is somewhere around here. I mean, just for demo purposes. Okay, So 204 and 272, that would be my range. So I would like to deploy 300. Okay, we got some sort of an error. It happens, I don't know. No problem, we can redo this one more time. Let's make 204 and 265 maybe, 2659. Okay, whatever, it works. And I want to deploy 300 XRP, so I can deploy 96 at most based on what I have in USDT. Okay, if I make this a bit higher, I can deploy more XRPs. In this case, maybe I can do 100. Maybe I can do 206 is a bit too much. Let's make a tiny bit less. 204 would be the best. Still an error. It's very interesting because I never had this before. For any reason, this slightly is moving not ideally, but it's happening on this demo, because if this happens to you, you see that there is nothing to worry about. It just happens sometimes on all of these dexes, even the biggest ones. It's a normal procedure from time to time. So 260 and 204, this is what I'm happy with. So can I do, yes, I can do 90 XRPs and $12 in this case. I'm happy with that. So then what you want to be doing is clicking approve Fxrp. So this is the first transaction, approve Fxrp, close. Then we will have to approve USDT 0, another transaction, as you can see. And then we will be able to create position, which is another transaction. Confirm that, and the position should be, yes, I am now in the position. So as you can see, I've deployed 89 XRPs and $12. If I would have more USDT, I would be able to deploy most of my money. Or if I would give zero range downside, then I would be able to deploy full amount. It's just that I don't want to calculate right now how much USDT I have to have, etc., not to waste your time. So I just deployed whatever they let me to deploy. So now, as you can see, my range is 204 and 2.6, and the current price is 207. So I am in range. So while I am within the minimum and maximum price, this position is active and in range, as you can see right here. It's in range. So I am earning the fees plus rewards. Okay, so you can come back at any time, tomorrow, whatever, 2 days later, and you will see that in unclaimed fees tab, there will be some money. It's not going to be a lot based on the current market conditions. The current ones are not the greatest, so you can expect to earn, we can actually take a look at the pool itself. So the volumes and the fees, yeah, so the API will be well, approximately 97%, more or less, but most of it comes as a reward. So in fees, you are making about 35% per year, more or less, based on your range, of course. So my range is a bit smaller, so I could earn tiny bit more. Okay, so as you can see, it's now in range, the position is active, and you are able to use it. Now, at any given time, you are able to add more money to this pool if you want to, or you can decrease liquidity to withdraw the money from this pool and redeploy it on a different range, etc. So for example, if this position goes out of range and you're no longer earning the fees and you don't think the market will come back into the range, so you get to earn the fees again, then you will have to close the position and change the range. So you would go to this menu, click on decrease, click on 100%, and you would get back your money, the same ratio as the risk currently in the pool, because the price haven't moved much. I am getting exactly pretty much the same as I deployed. But if the price of XRP would go up, I would get less XRP and more USDT. And if it goes down towards here, I would get more FXRP and no USDT. So you can decrease the position, withdraw money from the pool, and have it in your wallet and change the range again, redeploy again, and earn again. Right? Simple as that. So this is how you deploy on FXRP USDT 0 on Enosys DEX. Now let me quickly show you how to do it on a Sparkdex as well. Okay, so we are now in Sparkdex. I will leave the link as well. Let's click on Launch App. Click on Connect Wallet. We will use Wallet Connect as always. Connect Wallet. Connect. Let me scan it quickly. Connect. Boom. Done. Now you can go to the farm page right here. Oh, I do have $12 in rewards. Beautiful. So you can find your pools. Once again, let me find FXRP USDT 0, as you can see right here. Let's click on view. So this is the position, and I don't have any liquidity. I just have some rewards probably, but I am able to click on add, and this is how it all looks like. Okay, you have your pool, you have your assets, FXRP and USDT 0. Can I do simple deposit? I don't think so. Yeah, not yet. It has to be a dual deposit. So you choose dual deposit. You choose feet here, which is, well, the standard one, 0.05. And then you click on expert, the range strategy. So you can set the range yourself. So as you can see, you are able to set the range yourself. I don't have any USDT 0, so let me actually do one thing. Let me remove liquidity from here just quickly, so I get back some of the USDT, so I don't need to swap again. Let me click on decrease position. Let's go back to Bifrost, confirm. Just confirmed the transaction, and I no longer in position. Good. I can go back to Sparkdex, and now I can refresh the page so I can redeploy with some USDT in my wallet. As you can see, I should have it right now, probably. So expert, and okay, I do have the $12. Okay, so let me make the lower range minus 0.5%, so 206. Okay, and the maximum I want to make, I don't know, 278. That's good enough. So in this case, I am deploying 252 XRPs, which is $500, and $10 in USDT 0. Because I have 12, I am able to deploy slightly bit more. Okay, so I can increase my deposit size. Let's do the maximum they allow me. For the maximum, I need $14. Okay, so let me try to do 350 XRPs. I need $13. Oh, okay, let me actually do it manually. This is not a perfect scenario, but whatever. I'm showing you manual solution. So 288, I will deploy 12.78 USDT 0, which is within my balance sheet. I mean, when you do this, okay, you can just calculate it beforehand, swap it beforehand, and just have both assets in the wallet, or deploy fully in one asset if you don't want to give any range downside. But if you want to give some range, so in this case, I'm giving no range to the downside, only 0.5%, and most of the range upside, 40%. In this case, I have to have a bit more USDT 0 in my balance. Or if I want to make a smaller range, then I will need more USDT. So you can just go to swap and swap some USDT back. So actually I can do that as well, just to show you how it works. So let me go from Fxrp to USDT. Let's do another 10 Fxrps to USDT 0. Click on swap, confirm swap. It will ask me to confirm on the Bifrost wallet. Of course, I will click on confirm. I just swapped. I will go back to the farm. I will go back to, do I have anything here? No. I will have to find Fxrp, view, add, and I want to set everything again, but now at least I have a little bit of breathing space. I don't want to do 5% down. I want to do, the current price is, where is the current price? 207. So let's do 204, and let's do something like 20%. So how much can I deploy? I need 73, so 200 XRPs. Now 150 XRPs. Yes, 150 XRP is the maximum I can deploy within this range based on my USDT 0 balance. If I do this even less, let's say at 1%, I could probably squeeze, 200 XRPs, maybe even 250. 250 also works. So let's do 250, add liquidity. I am adding 250 and $31. This is the range, minimum, maximum. Click on confirm. I will confirm the transaction as always on the Bifrost wallet. That is now done, and add liquidity is successful. So now you will see this position. When you click on it, it will show you your liquidity, unclaimed fee, and all of the information of the pool. So you can always add more money into this pool or withdraw the same as on Enosys. So that's how you deploy into both of the pools. Now the strategy part, when it comes to when to deploy, how much to deploy, into what kind of ratios, etc., is a completely another story. It's not the basics anymore, so to speak. But the basic part is to know how to actually do that, okay? So now you should fully understand how to deploy, what it means, how it works, etc. When it comes to strategies and everything, I will provide a few, but it's not going to be everything because it's going to be a pretty advanced stuff. So if you need my help on building up a full-on strategy, explaining how to actually deploy, redeploy, etc., you will have to message me and we can figure out a way to jump on a call or something, and based on your preferences, on your needs, we can work your strategy out. So that's it. Now this amount is working for me, is generating yield. I will be getting paid in XRP and USDT 0 right here. Plus I will get some rewards as well. And I believe I saw some rewards here. I can now claim $12 worth of rewards. Why not? I'm fully for it. I will confirm it. And I just got $12 in rewards. That's nice. That is nice. So that's it, guys, for this video. Next one, I will show you how to deploy into the CBXRP pools, which is similar. Here we are deploying against stablecoins, so it's a bit easier. On CBXRP, you will be deploying against other volatile asset like BTC or ETH. So it's going to be a bit more variables, but the idea is exactly the same. So once again, guys, thank you. Hopefully it's all clear. If you have any questions, send me a message. I will help you to figure out your any issues you may have. So thank you once again, and I will see you on the next video.